Hello and welcome to Dave the Suit Betting. Well, if you played on Saturday, I thought we were on a winner there at a huge price, but we got the place money. It did trade at odds on in running. A little bit disappointed that it didn't win, but we got the each way money and I was reasonably happy. So, Wednesday, the 2nd of October, weather conditions are atrocious. We've had a lot of rain, so I'm advising caution. I've got bets for two races. Here's the first race I've looked at. So this is the race I'm looking at, the 4:30 at Catterick. It's over what passes for 6 furlongs at Catterick, and it's on soft ground. So the favourite is a 4-year-old, Gary Felina, rated 54. So we are at a bargain basement track and we're on a bargain basement horses. Now, so I've got a horse in that race. It's ran over course and distance, 6 furlongs at Catterick, 17 times. It's come first, second or third in 10 of those runs. It's won 4 of them. Of the 4 it won, 3 of them were on soft ground. It's only raced over 6 furlongs on soft ground at Catterick 4 times and it's won 3 of them. Here's the horse winning in such conditions. So the horse we're looking at is coming out of the H stall. This is in October 2022, 2 years ago, on soft ground at Catterick. So it's the one in the red. So it gets out from a wideish draw. They get to the bend. They all come across. You can see the undulations at Catterick. We're at the furlong pole. And he just wanders slightly off the rail, wanders away from the whip, but stays on well and wins comfortably. Well, it won well. It was out of a high draw. It's not got a high draw today. It's got a low draw. And that was as an 8-year-old. It's now 10. The horse is Red Rose Zorro. It's currently 28-1. Let me show you some collateral form with the favourite. Gary Felina is now rated 54. Last year it was rated 54. Came third. Over course and distance on good to soft. So it was still rated 54. And it was beaten by Wade's Magic at level weights. It got beaten a neck. So basically, Gary Felina is basically on a par at 54 with Wade's Magic, which was rated 53. And that's the 9-4 shot. Here's my comparison. Rated 50. Last year, it beat Wade's Magic, then rated 55. Half a length. And he gave Wade's Magic 1 stone and 1 pound. And that was on ground, arguably, that maybe doesn't suit Red Rose Zorro. Got pulled before the stewards that day regarding the apparent improvement in form. Said that the gelding appreciated the return to Catterick, where the gelding had won previously. It was a 9-year-old. That was last year. The same year, Wade's Magic finished in front of today's favourite. Now that day, Red Rose Zorro was rated 63 as a 9-year-old. Today, it's only rated 50. Now, has the horse deteriorated by £13? Arguably has, but it's getting weight. The favourite is 9 stone 8. Red Rose Zorro is 9 stone 4. It's getting £4. Now, you can't go directly with the form line. But at 20 to 1, 9 to 4, why not? As you can see, it's got the beating on form, providing old age is not caught up with it. So it's got to be worth a punt. Now I'm advising this, because the horse is 10-year-old, it's not won for a long time, I'm advising half stake. So I do my profit and loss to £20 or £10 each way. So I'm advising Red Rose of Zorro, 28 to 1, £5 each way. Here's the second race I've looked at. It's a 2-year-old race over 7 furlongs. So this is the race, the 248 at Catterick, over 7 furlongs. Again, the ground is soft. It could be heavy. You never know. Here's a horse which has won on soft ground on its only run, but it was over 5 at Pontefract. Let's have a look at the race. So the horse we're interested in is coming out of the 4 stall. This is at Pontefract, over 5 furlongs, very early in the season, on soft ground, heavy in places. Let's have a look at the race. So, dwells in the stall all day long, gets out a little bit awkward, has to be bustled along, but it's got the pace. Gets a good position-ish, comes across. This is 5 furlongs. Pontefract. Look at the ground. You can see the ground is loose as loose can be. Soft, heavy in places. So we're coming to the bend now, and he eases off the pressure now to keep up with the pace. Look at that. Gets him back up, gets her back on the bit. I think it's a filly, if I remember rightly. Back on the bit. Comes round the bend with 2 furlongs to go. Starts pushing along. Gets checked up then and gets a bump. Comes off the rail, gets a crack in a minute, bum, one there, and another one coming up, bum there at the furlong pole, staying on well. This ground is atrocious, and another one. And the horse runs on resolutely on bad ground. That's a good run, that's a good, first time out ever. Okay, as you can see, fluffed the start, got the early pace, got bustled along by the jockey, got in a good position, stayed on really well. It's not ran for 163 days. That's the question mark over that. Let's have a look at another horse, which ran over 7 furlongs at Musselburgh on its first ever run as a 2-year-old. So the horse I'm looking at is coming out of the 1 stall. Let's see what happens. This is 7 furlongs at Musselburgh on good to firm ground. Okay, these are all out, and he just dwells a little bit. Then he jinks right. These are all coming across nice and, well, straightish, but this one jinks right. And he's a bit awkward out there, and he's a length behind at least already. Now, the 1 stall is a good stall at Musselburgh if you can utilise it over 7, because after a furlong, you hit a bend. So he's up against it already. He's been bustled along, and he's got no chance from there. The race is over before he starts. This is his first ever run on a race course. So, you can see the horse is at the 3 furlong pole here, and he tries to make a go of it up the inside. He comes up the inside, It's being pushed along. First ever run on a race course. Now we're at the 2 here. It's just finding the pace a little hot. Gives it a crack. The horse does respond and stays on a little bit quicker, does quicken a little bit. Now what we've got now, the jockey knows that he can't get up this rail now. He can't possibly get up this rail. So he's looking to come left. Now he's actually in 5th place, but these 2 are coming down the outside. So he's looking to switch the horse. You can see now he's going to switch the horse, but now he's got problems because these are coming down here. All right. So we're coming to the 1 furlong pole. It's a bit late to be doing things. Coming to the 1 furlong pole, and he's basically last. Okay, now he does go out of picture. Now he's next to last now maybe. And we don't see any more of the horse. Until he finishes 4th. 3 off the rail. Well, the form, it's not great. Did fluff the start. The rail is a great place to be if you've got the pace to utilise that draw. You hit the bend, you're in last place. Nothing. It did stay on well. We couldn't see it. It was a bit out of picture, but it did stay on well. So what we've got Troy Story at 6-4. It's run at Grade 1 track, Sandown, against good 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds that have, well, one of them certainly has gone on to much better things. The one of Stout is not so much. But it wasn't a listed race when it got beat. Bay City Roller, which it ran against first time, that's gone on to really good wins. The problem is it was well beaten each time. 10 length almost and over 4 length. It's a bit dodgy. The ground's atrocious. Catterick's a funny track now. But are they sending it to Catterick just to get a win out of it? Maybe. But I don't want to take a shot at 6-4. Kirkdale, 9-4. That's a bit short for what it's done at Musselburgh as well. It's had a couple of runs. So I'm looking for some surprises. Hot to Dot is 4-1. It's not ran at the distance. It's going over 2 furlongs further. It does look like it'll stay on the Pontefract run. It's not ran for 163 days. That's the dodgy aspect. The dodgy aspect with Say What You See is the form doesn't look good enough to win this. But form can go out the window. That was on Good to Firm when it ran there. The form can go out the window on very, very soft ground at a fast track. Now, if it gets its act together and gets out, it will stay on. It's 28-1. This is the time of year you want to be looking beyond the favourite and the second favourite. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to have 2 against the field. So half stakes would normally be going 5 each way or £10 win. So Hot to Dot, 5 a win. Say What You See, 5 a win. This is Dave the Suit. A wet and windy Wednesday. I'm being safe. I'm playing it safe. Be careful out there. Bye for now.